ladies, and welcome to this Summer Soul Care Saturday. Go ahead and leave some clapping emojis in the comments below if you are stoked for the message that's going to be happening today. So before we get into the incredible word that Pastor Linda and her special guests have, we just have a couple of announcements for all of you ladies out there. So the first is this. Most of us should know by now, but maybe this is the first time you're hearing it. Limitless Conference is happening in 2021. So we are so ecstatic for this year's Limitless Conference. We have Pastor Linda, our lead pastor. Let's leave some praise hands for our lead pastor. We have Pastor Nicole Crane coming all the way from Missouri, and we have Pastor Cindy Thomas coming all the way from Florida. So ladies, I'm telling you, there's going to be women from all over coming to this conference. And I say this every week, but I'm going to be so sad if you aren't there, because you are a part of our church and we want you there. So you can register for Limitless Conference 2021 happening October 8th and October 9th right now on thelimitlessconf.com or on the TE Church app. So the second announcement we have for all of the women watching is, so right now we're in our Summer Soul Care Saturdays series, and to wrap up this incredible series, we are actually ending it with a brunch. Come on now. I love breakfast food and I love lunch food. So that combined, I am so excited. So ladies, this is going to be July 31st. Mark your calendars. Instead of hopping on to this on Saturday, we want you to join us for the brunch. There's going to be food. There's going to be fun. There's going to be a sense of community that, man, we have been lacking and we need back in our women. So this event is free, but we want you to register so that we can properly prepare for all of the women that are coming. So you can register for this right now on the TE Church app. It's going to be awesome. And the last thing is this: Limitless ambassadors. If you are an ambassador right now, leave some claps, leave some praise hands, leave your favorite heart, your favorite color heart in the comment section right now. Ambassadors, we love you. But if you are watching this and you're like, what the heck is an ambassador? I want to be an ambassador. We want to let you know that you still can be. You can register to be an ambassador anytime before Limitless Conference. So right now, this is available for you on the TE Church app. And you might have a ton of questions like, what do I do? What is this for? Man, you're going to be helping us promote things like the brunch and Limitless Conference and all things Limitless. And I'm going to tell you, it helps out other women and it also helps out you. So to be further involved, you can go on the TE Church app and find all of the things I just talked about. Limitless Conference 2021 happening October 8th and 9th. The Summer Soul Care Saturdays brunch happening July 31st. And you can register to be a Limitless ambassador. So ladies, I am stoked for this message we are about to hear in just a couple minutes. Let's get ready for another Summer Soul Care Saturday.
Welcome to Soul Care Saturdays. I'm so excited to have my friend, Toni Collier, here today. And ladies, you guys know what we're doing right now. This is Limitless Talks. I'm your host, Linda Seidler. I have an awesome guest on today because we are talking about our souls today. We're talking about how to restore our mind, our will, our emotions, What does that look like for us gals? We've already had a great week prior. Today is something super special that I'm so excited for you to be on, Toni. So welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Everyone's filing in. I love it. Welcome. I'm so grateful to be here. So grateful, Linda.
I'm going to give a quick backstory of who you are.
Come on.
You and your husband, Sam, are pastors of Hillsong in Atlanta.
That's right. Yeah, brand new church plant.
Just recently happened. So that's super exciting.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you have some really awesome parts of your story and your ministry that I really want to dive into today, Toni.
Come on.
We're talking about Broken Crayons Still Color, right?
My ministry, yes.
That's your ministry. And then you have another part called the Hopeful Woman Co. So I want to talk about that for a minute.
Let's do it.
Tell us what Broken Crayons Still Color signifies for you. Why are you the founder of that ministry? What does that look like?
Yeah. One of the things that it says in our bios is that we're a message of hope, a mantra for the hopeless woman. And I think it's just that. For me, Broken Crayons came from this idea that, I mean, for me, at least, I grew up in a culture, both in the Christian world and in the non-Christian world, that said you had to be perfect to be used. That success really came from a place of perfection and performance. And honestly, it's just not true. Well, I don't believe it's true.
It isn't.
And I just feel like the more we feed this idea that it is perfection, that it is what we do, it's our performance, I think we lose something so sweet and special. I think we lose our ability to be brave enough to be broken, to be courageous in the things that we're battling with. Because when we're courageous with those things, true healing comes. And so Broken Crayons is that. It's this idea of, our childhoods drawing with that little crayon and that sucker breaks right in the middle of it. But you realize that it can still be used, that great things can still come from it. And I really just believe that that's what God's trying to do through us, is to show us that we're not imperfect. We're not perfect. We're imperfect human beings, but he still has just incredible things for us. And so that's Broken Crayons.
I love it.
And we decided that it would be great if we kind of coined our resources something a little bit more hopeful, like not like, oh, we're all broken crayons out here, but we wanted to be honest about the fact that there is an ending place that we're trying to get to. We're trying to help women process through brokenness and get on the other side to hope. And so we kind of started the Hopeful Woman Collective, the Hopeful Woman course, and it's just been so amazing and beautiful. So
I love your message. And let me ask you this, and you be as vulnerable, as authentic as you want to be. Does this come from a personal place with you? Does this come from a place where you can look back and say, I was that girl, and now God's transformed me into something different? So where does it all come from? Like deep in you?
That's such a good question, Linda. It's not the case for everyone, but I just really do believe that our greatest purpose and passion comes from our places of hurt, our places of redemption and freedom and restoration. There's just something good about it. We want authenticity. And so when people hear me talk about it, they're like, oh, it's because you've been through something. And so I've been through a whole bunch, fam. Okay. I was raised in a verbally abusive childhood with my dad. And my mom was very, very sick growing up. And so strokes and blood clots, and she was paralyzed in her entire left side. And so I missed out on a lot of nurturing, but even more than that, on a lot of protection and safety. I missed out on childhood, So my awe and wonder was kind of stripped from me in a way that kind of forced me into just growing up really, really quickly. So lost my virginity at 13, thought I was grown. Come on, somebody. Started to numb all those childhood wounds really, really soon at 13, 14, drinking alcohol, partying, smoking, living it up. But always had a performer's heart though, because I wanted to make my daddy proud. Okay. All with little daddy issues here. And so I left my parents' house at 16, went off to college, put myself through college, partied, drank, lived it up, boys, lots of boys, and didn't get saved until I was 21. And by that time, I thought I was in love. And instead of going to law school, I moved from Texas to Atlanta with a guy that I thought I was in love with. Turned out to be a really toxic situation, a lot of abuse there. but got married and had a baby and was hiding it all because that's just what you do when you think that you have to be perfect to be used. Hello, somebody.
Yep.
And so ended up getting a divorce, ended up going into ministry full time, but at a really spiritually abusive church. So got a lot of church hurt, battled with bulimia a little bit, an eating disorder. And man, just looked up at 24 and had this little girl and a freaking bag of brokenness. And I got into a point where I just really thought I wouldn't be able to be used anymore in ministry. I mean, I had literally gone into the nonprofit space, started to work for Girl Scouts. I was like, I guess this is over. I'm blemished. I'm broken. God can't use me still. And gosh, there was just a big fat, no, that's a lie from the pits of the enemy.
Right.
And well, here I am today, a whole pastor, right?
A whole pastor,
Crazy.
like, ooh, the whole thing.
Hey, somebody, leading this women's ministry, trying to denounce the lie that brokenness discounts you. It just does not. I get like super passionate about it because I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not even biblical. So that's where it comes from.
But there are women that are listening right now that can really relate to what you're talking about. Like, I know there are women that are right here. You put that in the comments. Is that you? Just put a hands up.
Drop it down. Let's be real about it, sis.
Yeah, because we've got to get over that. I know we talk about it a lot, but we've got to get to a place where we have to believe, just as the people in the Bible that were used by God, imperfect human beings, God's going to use us in a spiritual way that defeats all of those imperfections that we have. In fact, in our women's Limitless Woman Co., that's funny. That's the name of our our women's group. Our mantra is authentic, courageous, risky, and real.
Ooh,
we want to be real, right? Risky and real, because when you're taking a risk, you're taking a risk. Good. So as we talk about summer soul care, and we talk about our imperfections, and we know that our souls need care too. Toni, what is it that you actually do? Well, let me ask you this. What does soul care mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Man, I think it means the opposite of what the world gives us. I think we've got like facial care and physical care. We want to be cute. I'm trying to draw my eyebrows on every day.
I just did it right there, girl.
I'm just trying to get them to look like sisters and not cousins. That's the goal here. Not twins, sisters. Anywho, but I think all of those things are great. It's a part of my replenishment cycle. I want to feel and look great in my body. But I think soul care is against the grain. I think when we put our focus on the internal, we just leak out good things. And I think for far too long, we have seen people leak out toxic things, but it is because they have focused on the external more than the internal. And so when they people start to experience them in any relationship, because you don't just leak in isolation, you leak everywhere, no matter if that's good or bad. When you start to focus on the inside, there is just an overflow and an abundance that comes from you in every single aspect. Soul care is not just for the spiritual aspect, to me at least. It's not just to get up on a stage and preach, or to belt out worship, or, to be able to read our Bibles and have quiet time. And that is beautiful, but it's the whole being. It's who you show up as at work, and who you show up as a parent and as a wife and a friend. And I'm like, I want wholeness in every aspect of my life. And so I got to go to the root. I got to go to the root first. And so I love it. I'm like, yes, soul care.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I love it.
Now, I always love getting practical with the women. Is there anything you do practically to help? Because we're talking about our minds. Our minds, mind and spirit, sometimes they separate, and we don't want for them to. So is there anything because you're a busy leader, you're a ministry leader, you're a wife, you're a mom, you do all the stuff. In fact, right now you're at a retreat, but you're spending time with us today.
Because I said, I'm stopping my Saturday to be with the girls. Okay. I'm hanging out.
I love it. So when you get to that place, because we all get to that place, what are some of the handles that you have that you grab onto to say, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to rest my soul. What are some of the things, like practically, that you do that might be helpful for some of the women that are listening?
Yeah. For me, my practical approach. So if we were to talk about posture, I learned maybe about 7 years ago now to break up with balance and marry priorities.
Oh, somebody put that in the comments.
Put it in the chat, but come on, hashtag me.
Please
break up with balance, marry priorities. I was taught as a woman, we can juggle it all, we're like that little like pendulum gal that's got the little things and we're just balancing all day. And for some people that probably works really great. For me, it just does not. I just think that there's something about being fully present in a moment. And we've lost that because we are multitaskers. We're on our phone and talking to our friends. And, have you ever been a part of a conversation where you're like trying to talk to someone and you start typing when you're talking? It is because our brains are not wired to handle that much intake and output at the same time. Mm-hmm. And so I've had to learn to break up with balance and marry priorities. Linda, when you reached out about this moment, I'm like, what block of time do I have that I could just give my all to, that I could pour all my energy out into this moment? I'll shift on to the next thing in 30 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes. Sure. But I need to be fully focused in this moment because you are my priority. You ladies tuning in right now, you're my priority. Wow. And I want to steward this moment well and this place well. And so for me, I don't do like Sundays off, Fridays off. I strategically plan in prioritize moments of rest. So every quarter for me, I do 5 days off. That's just my stilo. Like that's, but really it's the intention behind it. What does that mean for you? Is that every other Sunday off for you? Mm-hmm. Is that every Friday? It's like, I don't do anything on this day. For me personally, it was about, and everybody knows it. I talk about it all the time. Okay. My counselor knows that I do 5 days off. Mm-hmm. My assistant knows it. My husband knows it. It's like, I am out of this piece. Okay. Your girl is gone. Don't talk to me. Okay?
So you shut down
once a quarter. I did. In March, I went to Miami by myself. Next week, I'm going to Florida by myself. Like I just have to unplug because I like to run. I like grit. I like to grind. I want to run. And so for me, I don't like sporadic breaks here and there because it slows me down and it builds my anxiety because it kind of feels like the start stop type thing. It's like, what's going on? But if I can build up into a 5-day increment to say, okay, I've done everything I can do. I'm pausing here. That's just, it works for me so well. So I don't know what that looks like for you. But that's a super big thing. And accountability comes with that. Okay. You got to have people that remind you to rest. Mm-hmm. I need those people. When's your 5 days? My assistant will be like, you have your 5 days scheduled for next quarter? I'm like, I don't, sis. I don't be all up in my business. Okay. I'm just kidding.
But you need her to say that to you because your tendency may be not to schedule it.
Oh, 100%. I could go probably for like 6 months. Yeah. But my longevity and who I want to be will shorten over time. Mm-hmm. And then a replenishment cycle. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. Find the things that give you life. Not the things that other people need to do for you to give you life. What can you do for yourself that really replenish you?
Say that one more time.
I will say it. Find the things that give you life that only you can give yourself.
Yes.
Not the things that other people can give you to replenish yourself. For example, my love language is gifts all day.
Okay.
But it just doesn't replenish my soul. It replenishes my heart when my husband gives me gifts, but not my soul. Mm-hmm. For me, what replenishes my soul is number one, nature. I have to get out. I'm riding somebody's bike. I went on a run yesterday. I have to get outside and be around nature. Mm-hmm. It's just my thing. It just gives me life. So to sit outside and be around nature is a part of my replenishment cycle once a week. Okay. So you find the thing and then you find the consistency that you need. Mm-hmm. The second thing for me is worship. That's just my stilo. Mm-hmm. I can't really sing too well, but honey, I'm the loudest one. Oh, he messed up. He loved, honey. He loves you. I listen, he messed up when he gave me like a really powerful like voice. It's not good. It doesn't sound good, but I'm loud and I'm just belting it out all the time. Once a week, I need belt out worship. Hair and nails is another one for me, bi-weekly. There's just little things and trying new foods. Oh my gosh, I get excited just talking about it.
Yeah.
Once a week, I try a new place to eat or try a new thing.
Okay. So I'm going to go there. Tell me something good that you've had that you've never had before. Like what that food, what is that food?
Listen, I just had some Italian last night and they had this calamari steak.
Oh,
I said, it was like sun-dried tomatoes and like, I was like, what? Bomb.
Amazing.
So bomb.
Amazing. So what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say is you're literally in that moment enjoying, you're at full capacity. You're at full capacity.
Through and through. I could be a food blogger in that moment. Okay. Because I'm like talking to the waitress and I'm like, well, what kind of seasonings did you guys put? I'm like fully in. And I leave that moment and I'm like, man, that was so good for my soul.
I love that. Yeah.
So
we've got
replenishment cycle, girls.
We got nature, we've got worship, we've got food. Is there anything else that hair and nails, of course. Yep. Yes.
Okay. For whatever that looks like. Okay. I could just be like polishing my nails, but to look down and to have that is just so good for me. One thing I struggle with, so since we're being vulnerable here, and I literally just talked to my friend here in California about it yesterday, is community. A part of my replenishment cycle that I have not gotten a hold of yet is intentional time with my people. I have friends that are like, I get on the road and it's just hard. I mean, Linda, you know about travel life too. Like, it's so hard to stay connected to people when you can't be around them. And we all experienced that in COVID, you know? But that's my life. You know, my life is going on the road for 3 weeks at a time, 2 weeks at a time. And I get so disjointed with community. But one thing I would say that I'm struggling with, that I would like to grow in with you, is community, is figuring out what it looks like to, I don't know, put on the first of the month, a calendar invite in my phone that says, check in with your people. You know, I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know that I am praying about getting better, about staying tethered to my people that know me and I know deeply. That's something that I'm working on right now.
I love that. It's so important. I'm very similar to you. I tend to go without relying on other people. And I found that what has really helped me has been very similar, where there might be a day I'm thinking about my friends, instead of just thinking about them, let's text them. Let's see how they're doing today. And I'm telling you, what's really funny about that, when I've done that with certain friends of mine, that's the day that they've needed that text the most.
Oh, I know.
So not only have they needed it from me, but I've needed it from them as well. So I'm going to say to you gals that are watching, like, one of the most important things for you is to value that community that God has put you in. Get alongside those people that make you better, not the ones that make you bitter, not the ones that make you worse. Like, find the ones that really feed your soul, because we're talking about that soul today. So find those gals. Let's go spiritual for a minute. So what, like, are there favorite verses? Is there a Bible study? Is there something you personally have that you offer that we can talk about?
Okay. 2 things.
Okay.
One is a strategy and one is a resource that I don't even really know if I can talk about yet, but we're going to talk about it today. Okay. We're just going to talk about it. My team is like constantly like, do not, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm bad at surprises. You shouldn't tell me. You just shouldn't tell me. Okay.
We're bringing it. We're bringing it.
So sorry. Number one is this. I talk about this all the time. I went on a spiritual encounter with Chris and Lauren Tomlin's family a couple years ago. Changed my freaking life. Let me just say that. Okay. But here's one thing I took from it that I will forever talk about around the ends of the earth, is a strategy called 741. Okay. I'm good at religion and Sunday morning. I struggle with relationship and Monday through Saturday with God. And a lot of us do, right? Like, we can get on a Sunday morning and live our best little lives, worshiping with the people. Monday hits us and we didn't forget about God. Sure. But for me, it's even more than that. It's not my heart. It's really just the way my brain is. I'm just like, I have to really reel myself in. And so there's a strategy. It's called 741, 7 minutes, 4 days, 1 day of reflection. Not 7 days, 4 days, fam. For 7 minutes, you will spend time with God. For 4 days, whether it's in a row or sporadic, whatever floats your boat in the week. And then 1 day at the end of those 4 days, you want to leave room for reflection. Okay. Within those 7 minutes, here's what you're going to do. Number 1, check in with yourself. You would be surprised at how not often we say, how am I feeling today in this moment? And actually answer it honestly. Well, God is a God of honesty and relationship and intimacy. So maybe you're not processing that with other people, but you can process it with your Heavenly Father, who actually already knows how you're doing and how you're not doing. So I say things like, I'll just tell you mine from the other day. I was just like, man, God, I really feel blessed right now. Like, I almost feel so blessed. You're like doing so many great things in my life that I'm freaking nervous. I'm like, don't let me mess this up, kind of thing. But I feel so blessed. And I'm a little tired this morning, but I don't know. I feel so blessed and so grateful. And so God, just like, help me to just continue to process what gratitude looks like in my life. And I'll just write that out. Take me like a minute or 2.
Yeah. But
The
you
second
speak it
thing that
out,
I'll say,
you speak it out loud as well?
no, I'm a writer.
You're
I'm
right.
like,
Okay.
I'm writing it out. I've got my
Got it.
cute little gel pen. I'm doing my
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
But if Audible, like audio kind of floats your boat, you go for it. Okay.
I was like, let's do the
Um,
verbal journal too, like the verbal
let's
journal and the written.
do it. You can do it whatever your heart desires.
But 7 minutes, I like that.
7 minutes. It's
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes. So I process that. I also process any triggers I had from the day before. So
Mhm.
oftentimes I'll get triggered like by my daughter who has sensory processing disorder. I'll get triggered by something that's said to me. And you want to kind of look at those things because those are things that build up over time and trip you up in a situation that explode. And so if there's anything that kind of like stood out, like I had a negative feeling yesterday, I'll write that out. Then I will repent. Okay. It's hard, family and friends, but I'll be honest about the lustful thought that I had. Come on, somebody. Let's just be real about it.
Do it.
About the temptation I had, about being super irritated with somebody and popping off a little bit. Like I will write those things out. And for many of us sometimes, especially if you're a 3 on the Enneagram and we're kind of perfect and we do everything right and we're crushing it, I won't have anything. So I will ask God, reveal it to my heart. Show me where it is that I've been tripping a little bit. And I'll write that out. Then I'll just exalt God. And then I'll just write like a sweet little note to him. And I'll be like, hey, you're so cool. Gosh, this is really freaking amazing that you chose me out of all the people in the world to do this specific thing for my people. Like, whoa, what a really cool thing. You're an awesome God. Yeah. Thank you so much for creating a freaking world for me. I'm just still very shocked here. And I'll just like, thank him. Yeah. And then I'll ask one intimate question to God. One of those things that have been for me, oh gosh, I have the chills right now, is what do you think of me? And it's so intimate, but I can't even, I know.
Right now.
I know. God, what do you think of me? I know.
Somebody write that, drop that in the comments, like really.
Drop it. Come on.
Yeah.
To sit there in silence and just listen and feel him place impressions on your heart about yourself. And I dare you to write them down. I dare you to start writing down what you feel, because sometimes they're so lavish. You're like, surely that can't be. Well, you wouldn't say those things about yourself. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
God just whispering sweet nothings to you. I can't. I just cannot. Okay. 7 minutes. Yeah. 4 times a week. 1 day of reflection. Just look back at those 4 days. What did you write down? What triggered you? What could you grow in for the next week? And what is God saying to your sweet, beautiful heart that he has been dying to say to you, but he's not intrusive. So he's been also dying for you to ask. I mean, wow, that's really big. Okay. Second thing, we just signed a distribution deal with a company called iDisciple, and my women's ministry is coming out with our very first devotional. It's a 20-day devotional. We're like, how do we just kind of nutshell this thing a little bit? Yeah. So my birthday's on July 19th. And so we're releasing it on July 19th. Okay. For pre-order. And then it officially launches August 23rd of 2021. Yeah. And it's called Overcomer. It's so beautiful, y'all. It's so cute. But it's going to be called Overcomer. And the subject line is defeating anxiety and abuse. Ooh. And we're just, I'm excited. It's not just go to your Heavenly Father. Those are amazing. Yes. Hear the voice of God. Those are amazing. We need all that. It is like, let's talk about the hard stuff.
You're getting down. So, you're getting down into it. Okay. And I didn't catch this part. Did you say that it's a Bible study?
Well, it's a study. It's like a Devo.
Devo study. Got it. Oh, Toni, that's fantastic.
Hot off the press, girls.
Okay, so it's available July 19th.
July 19th.
Oh my gosh, that's just a couple days.
I know, Monday.
That's just a couple of days. Oh, I'm so excited for you. So excited for you.
That's crazy.
Well, I tell you what, that I hope you girls are really getting a lot from this, because I'm taking notes right here. You should see my note. Like I've got all these notes written down. Oh no. And I know that your time is so precious, and the fact that you've spent time with us for this 30 minutes has been so meaningful for all of us. And, what I'd like to do as we kind of wind down is this, there's someone that's listening right now that's taking it all in, but not really believing it. having a little bit of a hard time. Not sure if she really gets the whole thing. Toni, what would you say to her? What would you give her as we kind of wind this down and just let her know from your heart what you think about her or what God thinks?
I think first and foremost, I just want to say it's okay to feel that way. I am in a spiral web of doubting myself and questioning if God's really called me for this because I'm so freaking crazy. Okay. And so I just want to invite the bravery and the honesty to say, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if that's for me, because behind that doubt is hurt, disappointments, probably real tangible pain. And it doesn't just come from anywhere. And so I just want to validate that first and foremost. And then two, I have the chills. This is what I would need to hear. Do you not know that you are the period to Earth's creation? No, let's just really think about it for a moment. God created Earth, moon, stars, little animals we don't even know their names of, the ocean, the vast mountains, the valleys. And then he created man. And then he said, that's not it. He literally said, it's incomplete. This beautiful canvas that I have created of all of these things that fill the earth is not complete yet, because I have not yet created you, daughter of the King. Are you kidding me? The period to Earth's creation, the final breaststroke. Oh, what?
Oh,
that's us.
That's us.
And that's something worth fighting for, holding on really close to. And that's something that the enemy will attack. They don't call men beautiful in the Bible. They call them warriors, strong, fearless. But us, they call us beautiful. And the enemy, Satan, wanted that from us because he wanted it for himself. He wanted beauty. He wanted to be known as lavish. And so who's he going to attack? Us, our hearts, our feminine hearts. He's going to make us doubt our beauty and our worth and our identity and our inherent value over and over and over again. The enemy, thieves don't steal from empty houses. He wants something because you have something.
Wow.
And
wow.
That's all truth.
That's
all truth.
Yes. Straight from the heart of God. Straight from the heart of God. Yeah.
I'm just saying, can't nobody take that away from you. That is the actual truth.
That is right. Oh, this has been so rich today. I wish we had another hour to spend with you, but listen, let's just do it again. Let's just do it all over again. Yeah, we will. We're going to just take all that we can get. And you know what I want you, if you could just pray over us, that would be amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, God. First and foremost, we just want to say thank you so much for waking us up this morning. It has been a treacherous year and we have lost millions of people to a global pandemic. And so quite honestly, our lives in this moment, the breath in our lungs in this moment is a true miracle. And so thank you. Thank you for allowing us to breathe life in and to process all of our brokenness out. God, we just ask right now that you just infiltrate your daughters and their hearts. God, we just ask that you be close. We ask that you remind us that you did not promise us a life of perfection. However, you did promise that you'd be with us in the imperfections. God, I just pray over your daughters in the name of Jesus, that when the moments come where darkness comes, where they feel like they're alone in the valleys, where they feel like they are just dragging themselves across the fields of our lives, just trying to get to the finish line. God, I pray that you would remind them that you are the God that's inside of the valleys. You are the God that's pulling us up into the mountains. You are the God that's not just at the end of the tunnel saying, come on, get cleaned up, be perfect. I got you when you get down here, but you're the God that says, no, I'm a light to your feet. I'm with you step by step by step by step. You are the player on the sidelines of our lives saying, put me in, coach. I've got some power for your weakness. You said it through your apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. You've got a grace and it's sufficient for us, and your power is made perfect in our weakness. But God, give us the bravery, as Paul said, to be boastful about our weaknesses so that your power will rest on us. Give us the bravery and the grit. Have us to be risky and real women that say, I know that I'm imperfect and I know that I'm wired for struggle. It is how I was made. However, I am still worthy of love and belonging in everything good that the Father has for me. Those things are true to us, God. We stand on your promises. And in the mighty name of Jesus, we say amen and amen and amen.
Now listen, where can we find you on socials? Let's get all that out there because I want all these girls to find you. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, I always point women to Broken Crayons. I am there living my best life.
Okay.
But it's just BRKN because we wanted to get fancy like Gen Z.
I love it.
BRKN, no vowels. Who needs those? BRKNcrayons.com, Broken Crayons on Instagram, all the things. So much inspiration lives there. And we always talk about, we have an exclusive online group for women. That's totally free. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. We've got about 2,500 women in there just doing this. We do this. We hop on calls, we talk, we process, we pray for each other, and it's beautiful.
Strengthening. And then also Toni Collier on Instagram as well.
Toni J. Collier, Collier. Toni with an I. Come on.
Listen, thank you, friend, so much,
Absolutely.
so much. Just give Toni a shout out in those comments, and we just love you, and we hope that you come back and visit with us again.
Yes, I will. Absolutely. Love you guys so much.
Love you too. You guys, was that not so good from Toni Collier? I'm so excited that she could be with us today. She was actually in California and she popped in just because she wanted to share with you guys today. So I'm excited about that. There's a couple of things that I want to mention. One in particular, we have one more Saturday online with Soul Care Saturdays, but summer Soul Care Saturdays. But at the end of the month on July the 31st, we're having an in-person brunch that you all should sign up for, register for. It's free, totally free. It's just our opportunity to get together and hang out and gather for our last day of our summer Soul Care series. It'll be at the Experience Church from 10 until 12. If you want to register, you can go to our website, theexperience.church, or if you have the app, just go on the app, sign up for that, register for it. We just need to know how many women are coming. I'm not sure exactly when the deadline is, but it'll tell you on there. So I want to see you guys in person. I can't wait to just connect with you. It's been so fun doing this, but we do have one more week. We'll have another special guest next week. Stay tuned. I'm so glad you all were here for the 741 that Toni gave us. What an amazing, amazing leader and inspirer to my soul. And I hope it's been an inspiration to your soul as well. So listen, until we see each other again, love y'all. Have a great day.